Hey, Ready Up Live, I'm going to show you where to find all 13 skulls in Halo 5 Guardians. All of these skulls can be done on co-op and on easy, except for one of them. That's on Mission 3 Iron Skull. That one has to be on Legendary. Mission 1 is one of the easiest. I would have been your daddy skull. Once you get to this Forerunner structure, feel free to clean guys up, doesn't matter. It is sitting over here on this little cliff ledge. Easiest way to jump up here is by jumping on this barrier and then jumping across. And then there you go. That is your first skull. I would have been your daddy. Second skull is Black Eye. It's on blue team. Once you get to this reactor section, simply head to your left. Jump across, climb the stairs, however you want to get there. And if you look up, you'll notice there is a pipe. Find a way to climb up onto the pipe and run along it. At the very end of this pipe, you simply jump across a gap here, get to this area that says keep clear, climb up over it, and now you need to ground pound down. Break into a little room here filled with great weapons and your second skull, Black Eye. Skull 3 is the Iron Skull on glass. Now this has to be done on Legendary. I recommend doing it in co-op, makes it a little easier, but this is a very, very difficult skull. Once you get the tank, I recommend clearing out everybody because you can easily lose that tank. It's very easy to die on Legendary. So clear up some enemies first, then start heading up the ramp. You'll have one group of Prometheans spawn in, feel free to kill them, and keep an eye in the sky to your left. Your gunner will have an easier time doing what you have to do next. Once you trigger the second Promethean spawn, look to your left in the sky and you'll see a transport. Following that transport is a Promethean Phaeton. You need to shoot that Phaeton down before it destroys the transport. I have yet to hit it with the tank, very tricky to do, but it's not that hard to destroy it with the gunner. Once you shoot it, it'll pop, and you can move on to the next section. I recommend hopping out of the tank, and then running the direction I'm going. Now this skull can spawn in 3 different places once you have activated it. Place number 1 is along this fence here between these 2 yellow barrels. There it is, that is one option for the Iron Skull. So check here first because it's the closest. The second option is on top of the Scorpion garage. Head back to the garage, jump behind these boxes here, and look behind this barrel.
They used to call these ships mules. Took one for a joke.
The third possible spawn location is underneath one of these rocky arches in the middle of this fighting area. Be careful, if you left that Warthog alive, it can tear you to shreds. So it's not the first arch, it's in the second arch behind some of these boxes. So you can knock them out of the way, do what you gotta do, but it is sitting there behind them. So there you go, that is the Iron Skull. Legendary only, 3 possible locations, very tricky one. Next up we have the Blind Skull on Unconfirmed. Once you reach this red downward tunnel area, jump up on your left and you'll notice you can climb even higher. Jump up onto this platform, climb across here, you'll see a little cave containing the Blind Skull.
Sure your mom was signal intelligence? You sound like a banker's daughter.
The Thunderstorm Skull on Evacuation is a very tricky one as well. At the very beginning of the mission, get into a Warthog or a Gun Goose and quickly move to the 5 locations I'm about to show you. There are 5 traffic cones you need to destroy. If you don't destroy them in time, the 5th one will disappear, so move very quickly.
Can't take anything that flies from these people.
Way to the space elevator right now. Final shuttles are departing soon with your tail. Guardian's got a hell of a singing voice.
Can we do autopilot retrieval? Bring the Pelican down to us.
So this is the 5th cone. Remember, this will disappear if you don't do it in time. Once all of these 5 are activated, get to the very, very end of the level where things are starting to fall apart and you're running towards the Pelican. You're gonna get knocked down a couple times, but don't worry about it. Sitting in the ground here, kind of hard to notice, is your next skull, the Thunderstorm Skull.
What happens when it gets to 0? I don't want to find out. Get to the Pelican.
The Grunt Birthday Party Skull is one of the easier ones and one of the funniest ones. Once you reach the area of the Plotting Covenant, head to your right and just run through these caves here. At the very end of the caves, there will be a drop-off, a big ledge, and you'll notice a grunt singing along. and sitting on the edge of it. He's holding a skull in his hand. You have to go up behind him, don't kill him, go up behind him, press your use key, and something funny will happen. Once you punt him off the ledge, the skull will spawn right where he was sitting. Now, Reunion actually has another skull. Once you get to this area very, very late in the level after the Phaeton flying section, head to your right and head to this Forerunner structure. Sitting in the middle at the very back of it is the next skull, the Fog Skull. The Mythic Skull's a tricky one. It's on Swords of Sanghelios. Once you reach this area where the Banshee crashes, turn to your right. You'll see this broken pillar. You have to climb it.
They'll be well on their way.
It's pretty tricky to do, but watch my steps. First, hit the cracked area, hit this area, and then jump up one more time to the top. That's the easiest way to do this. You gotta be very, very careful. Now you want to get a sprint going. You need a little bit of a sprint and then a thrust to make this jump. There's a few ways to do it, but that is the most easy. There you go. There's the next skull. The catch skull is on enemy lines and it's inside the Kraken. If you're on easy, which is very, very easy, feel free to just fly over top of it, jump, and run inside. Keep going deeper until you reach the Banshee hangar.
I'm on board the Kraken.
Generator will be in the bottom. Find a path, follow it down.
Once you see these Banshees, you know you are in the right area. If you look this direction, you'll see there is a little platform up there. You gotta do some tricky jumping to climb all the way up, and in the back of it, you'll find your next skull, the catch skull.
Hell out of there.
Pulse generator's taking a beating.
The Cowbell Skull is at the very end of Battle of Sunayon. This is where the Warden spawns. Go to the Warden's platform where he spawns, the very back closest to the Guardian. See right here where Minolta's going. He didn't make it, but look very carefully and drop very slowly, and you'll see sitting down here, hidden in the rubble, is the Cowbell Skull. The Tilt Skull is on Genesis. Once you reach this area after the bridge where the Warden spawns, I just killed him just to show you, head to your right, and it's going to be on this rocky structure here, where Canuck is standing. There's a few ways to climb it, but this is probably the easiest. Just jump up to this first rock, jump up to the second rock, and at the very end of this rock here, you'll see the next skull, the Tilt Skull. Famine Skull is on the Breaking. When you see the Warden appear and Cortana says, "I'm tired of your antics," you know you're in the right area.
Cortana, talk to me.
There's a terminal here right underneath where he was standing. It's actually behind this terminal. So turn around, and sitting on this little platform here, you'll see the Famine Skull. The final skull is the Tough Luck Skull on Guardians. Once you reach the wide open area where you need to destroy cores, get on a vehicle, doesn't matter, just makes it a little faster, and head to the right where there's this crashed Pelican. Don't walk up to the crashed Pelican, actually head to the left of it. I think you can do it from that side, but this side is much easier. Climb these icy steps. It's a little tricky to do, so be very careful. Probably want to take out the turret so it doesn't shoot at you like it was us here. But you just run along these rocks, run along the snow and ice, make some tricky jumps, and sitting right in front of the rocks here, you will find your final skull, the Tough Luck Skull. There you go. Now you can use all these skulls in campaign to modify your gameplay. You'll get the Gravelord achievement, and you'll be a hero. So that's it. If this video was helpful, smack that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.